Hey, Book Mash fam! Welcome back to another Feature Friday where we shine a spotlight on our indie authors that we love. Today we are revving things up with Afton Seeser, author of the Motocrush Series. You can think motocross, romance, fierce heroines, and a whole lot of emotional depth. Afton, we're so excited to have you here. Welcome
Yay.
to the Book Mash. If you want to quickly just introduce yourself and say hi, and then we can start jumping into some fun questions here.
Yeah, I homeschool I feel like that's obviously my identity before an author, homeschooling mom. I have been with my husband. He's the one that got me into motocross for 15 years. So I don't know. I like to travel. I'm obsessed with Disney and cats and coffee. So that's pretty much that's me in a nutshell. And then writing. Now
we should be best friends.
I always people love that. I'm like, if people are saying something about Disney adults, I'm like, we are having the best time being Disney adults. So whatever. It's great. I thought it would be fun one day actually to write I don't know if I could do this legally with Disney, but a reality TV show kind of book with people who love Disney. I thought that would be so cool. Maybe I'll change it up a little bit, but
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, one day I need to. Yeah, that's pretty much me for now.
I think we should be friends, just saying. Okay, so let's get to know you a little bit, Afton. We always start with a big question. What inspired you to start writing romance, and how did the Motocrush series came to life? We touched on it a little bit, but...
So we moved I've lived in Texas since I was 11. I'm 34 now. So I moved to Croatia with my husband, which is in, near Italy in Europe. I never knew where it was before my husband. So it's over in that area. And I was a photographer for 5 years, a motherhood photographer. And as I was building my brand up in Europe, I had a lot of free time, and I read Akatar, and I was like, I could just write a book. She made me want to write a book, and I feel like a lot of authors have said that. It was fantastic. So then we were walking through the woods one day, or the state park, and this book idea came to me, which is totally different than romance. It's more like romantasy. And I want to put that out eventually, but there's so much in that, when you write fantasy versus a romance. So then I put that one aside, and then I wrote my debut, which was a twist on A Christmas Carol, a modern twist. And then I finished that. I put that out in November, and then I started writing book 1 in the Motocrush series, and then now I'm just I think I put the first one out in January, and then the second one out in May. So now it's hard because I want to keep writing in the series. I have to finish up a storyline for sure because I left it on a cliffhanger. It will finish the third novella. But now, of course, I always have these new ideas for other romance ones, and I saw, it was really seeing F1. I think Lauren Asher is her name.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
I saw those books all the way in Croatia, and I was like, this is crazy, because I think that she was an indie author first. And I was like, oh, I didn't know people wanted to read about F1 and action sports. And I just love motocross too. So I was like, why not combine that? And then the Why Choose, I thought that was just so fun. Yeah, there's just not enough time to read all the books and write all the books that I want to write. So much fun.
Great answer. Yeah, and actually I was going to ask where the passion for writing motocross came from, and you kind of answered that already with your husband getting you into it and then getting inspired by Lauren Asher. I've read that series, the Throttled series. It's really good.
I need to. I started to read it when I think we were on the plane ride home somewhere. I don't know why I didn't. Probably just because we were moving back from another country. I guess I got distracted. But I kind of wanted to just write it I didn't read any other action sports things because I was I just want to write it how I want to write it. Go into it blind. Even writing the Why Choose. I had only read one Why Choose before I wrote I think maybe I read 2. Because I know the Ravenhood series, I think I only read one in that. So I probably need to finish that series. But then I read another one with twin brothers. And then so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just try Why Choose. And then I feel like it's more love triangle meets Why Choose in the first one, which is kind of why now this love triangle, it kind of, not to give anything away, but because it ends on cliffhangers, it's kind of got to come to an end eventually.
You mean you can't just have both of them?
I know. It's one of the guys who's in his feels, and I'm just because I wanted it the way it came about, I just thought of like because I love the motocross riders. Like my husband grew up like riding dirt bikes too, so I find that whole thing attractive. And then there's two riders I just really love. Sort of. I feel weird saying I love one of them because I think he's like 20 in real life or something, so I aged him up to 23 a little bit. But his personality, I'm like, he's great, and then I love the other one. And so I was like, yeah, if I had this situation in real life, I would not want to choose between the two of them. So yeah, it's been really fun. Cool.
I love it. It's so exciting. So we're going to start talking about book one. Let's get a little bit of background. So Perfectly Untamed, right, is where it all began.
Yeah.
And from what we've seen, like you said, it's a little bit of a triangle, not a little bit, a lot of it, with a little bit of why choose. Can you tell us about Ruby, Brody, and Chance and how their dynamic sets the tone?
So Ruby, she is very stressed out. I based her just to be in Houston, like where I'm from. And she's like very stressed out in her corporate job. It kind of has like a little, she's just calling it, I call it a minty bee basically. And her mom suggests that she goes to Florida to work with this motocross team to be a mindset coach because she's kind of doing that with her boss back in Texas. That's a whole thing. But she meets, well, she's not there. She's kind of like, she's a fixer, like a, perfectionist, doesn't want to be distracted when she's like working for motocross, especially because it's like a whole new environment. She's never done it. And then kind of when she meets Chance, he's also from Texas, so they have like that familiar bond, and she's a little bit like taken aback because she's like so used to just taking everything so seriously. So I don't know, he catches her off guard in that way. And then Brody and Chance are on the same team, and they have some like beef from like a racing incident. And so they already have their issues. And then, so she's there to help Chance. I feel like I could go in circles about all this stuff.
We love it.
I'm trying to think of what's in the first like few chapters. So she's there to help Chance get his head on like straight because he's like still kind of shaken up from the crash that happened with Brody. And then there's a whole backstory, of course, with Chance and Brody. And then she is surprised. She tries to fight off Brody because, again, I think I made her like 33 and he's 23. So not the biggest age gap, but still for someone like her, she like, I don't know. Basically, the whole story is like her just giving in to her like desires and not feeling bad about it, not feeling like she has to be perfect, and like just putting herself first. And both of the guys.
Whoa!
That was really big for you. Did that scare you? You're staring right at the window as that happened. It's okay.
That was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool. Dramatic.
No, it's I wanted to put it into like a fantasy situation, like I said, of mine, to where if you weren't like, I don't know, just if you care so much about what everyone thinks about you, finally just like letting go of that. And it's kind of like she's with both of them kind of like separately before they eventually come together, because she's also just like not wanting to attach. She's not wanting to get like in her feels basically, and then it kind of just happens with the guys. They're just so different because like Chance wants one thing because he's at this point in his life, and then Brody's over here being a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's
yeah, it sounds so intriguing.
I feel like I did a version of it. I went back and added like a lot in, like 70 pages in to the story, because I was like, there was so much I didn't know when I started writing it. Like as I got to book 2, I put Ruby, Brody, and Chance in perfectly steady as well in the second book because it follows the same team, and Ruby just like befriends that other FMC. And so more started to come from them. And so anyways, I went back and just added so much more because I was like, I want there to be more drama with the two guys and her, and then their like backstory together. So it was even more fun to go back and rewrite because I'm obsessed with Brody. I feel like he's half the reason I'm writing the novella, because I'm like, I don't want to be done with him. I'm obsessed. So yeah, it's fun.
What show are we watching? My kids and I, the summer I turned pretty.
Yeah.
And so I'm totally into like this love triangle phase right now. And I've been trying to find more books with the love triangle, like bouncing back and forth. And so I'm like super excited and intrigued to read it. So yeah.
I hope it comes across like good, because I felt like I didn't have enough of like Chance at some points, and then like, but now of course going back to add in the novella, like I'm just trying to bring in all their points of views, which I was like, oh my god, it was my first like spicy book, because my debut I didn't want to put any spice on like a Dickens retelling. I was like, it's a little clean. So then this one I was like, oh my gosh, like I was trying to do so much, but it was fun. It was fun to have.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it was cool. And then I guess for Perfectly Studied, should I talk about that one next?
I'll jump into that one in a second too. Yeah.
Okay.
So for Perfectly Untamed, what kind of readers do you think would connect with Ruby's journey?
I think people that have, wouldn't say closed off, just a more overthinking kind of like personality who maybe like don't put themselves first, who are like people pleasers, like they'll definitely relate to Ruby there. And then anyone who just, of course, if you love motocross, definitely, and just even if you don't love motocross, I feel like I put in enough. It was cool from Ruby's perspective to be like, she's learning about motocross too. So I liked that. And then anyone who loves, really a love triangle of her just like, and then but when they come together too, it's like, it's just great. It's great. I love it.
Awesome.
You still get excited about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, most people, when they write their first book and then move on to, like, well, you're in the series.
Yeah.
When they go on to the second one, they're like, oh, my first one was, like, in the past. Like, let's talk about this one. And you're still so excited about it. And it just hypes everybody up.
Yeah, I feel like if I should talk about the second book more, I feel like, but I love the second book too. It's just that one's more sweet and more, it's like a slow, I feel like they're both kind of slow burns, but yeah, no, I feel like also because I'm writing the novella, I'm still very much in Ruby's world right now. Yeah. So it's going to be a bummer but then I think they're also coming back a little bit in the fourth book because it's Brody's brother's story. So luckily I get to just like stay excited about that.
I'm excited.
Very cool.
Hey, well, let's jump into Perfectly Steady. We're getting a totally different vibe with a single dad romance.
Yeah.
Can you introduce us to Odette and what makes her story stand out?
Odette, surprisingly, I did not even think I was ever going to write a single dad romance. I'm not really into, I've read a few, I think there was like I forget which one it was, something by Melanie Harlow. I don't know, but they're always with the nanny, which is fine. Elsie Silver, I liked hers, I remember, I think. But anyways, I'm really inspired by the Deegans, which are like one of the racing families in real life. But the kid, he's like, 18 years old, maybe 19 now. And I was like, I can't write about him. So I was like, let me just like break up like their family in this book and like think what I think it would be like if he really was like a single dad to this like phenomenal young writer. And then I think I really wanted to so my backstory is I was a single mom, not for too long, like a year. I had my son when I was like 18, and my husband, we got back together. We had broken up in high school, got back together when my son was 1. And so I feel like that vibe of like a woman really being taken care of, while also, because I was independent at the time, but that love from some man who really wants to come in and like take care of a woman that has like a troubled past. That was really exciting. And then I was like, I also wanted to show like healthy co-parenting between Mitchell and his ex, because he's like, I think in his mid-40s. I always forget the ages. I know it's mid-40s, and they were together for like 20 years. So she's not going anywhere. And I just thought for Odette, it's with her. I also tried not to get too deep into like the hardships that she had in the past, because I wanted it to go there, but also feel very like it's a romance. Like I didn't want it to feel too dark or heavy around just with how her parents like treated her, because she never really felt seen or loved. And I always what is the song, Matilda? Do y'all know that by Harry Styles? I always base it off of that. I'm like, how that feels like she goes and like creates like new family eventually, and it's fun because she doesn't know he's a single dad also for a little bit, because she's just assuming the mom is off with their daughter, who also does like some action sports stuff. Yeah, so I was just like, I just wanted her to have so much love. And so I was like, okay, here's Mitchell. And he's fantastic too. He's so sweet. And she's so sweet. Yeah.
Miranda will probably, so Miranda, backstory about Miranda, and this is probably her story. So Miranda met her husband when her son was 3, right, Miranda?
3.5, yeah. He's 18 now.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Okay, so same then. Like the same amount of time to be together. Yeah. It's so nice. I feel like it's like, it's such a gift. Like eventually I want to do like a single mom version too, but just men in general who come in, like, and just want to take care. It's just like such a nice, I don't know, a gift. That's really all I can think.
Well, it's not like they have to these random women in all the time. So there are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, and I feel like, it makes them like more just like, what would you say? I was gonna say more in depth of a character, whatever, just like a deeper person in general. Yeah. And Mitchell's kids are like, one of them, she's like probably 20, the daughter, and then I forget how old, but the youngest that he has is like 12. So also that, like, normally I feel like I see younger kids too, but I like just showing, like, from Odette's point of view, like his dedication of like what she sees, because she wanted that like father and like that family life so bad when she was growing up. And so I was like, that's perfect, because it's like he's just so mature in all these different ways, and I thought that was really nice, hopefully for readers to see. I'm hoping that connects, like to see healthy co-parenting, and then also just him like being an awesome dad. So yeah.
Love it.
Awesome.
Oh my feelers.
So we have the found family theme that you kind of touched on. Can you share a little bit about how that unfolds for Odette?
Yes. So she's surprised when she makes friends. She also doesn't, I kind of made it to where she has like her best friend, which she had family through her growing up, and like a little bit like they kind of like took care of her. And then I think it just naturally progresses because of the way that Mitchell and his family are, how they welcome her in. It just naturally happens, and she's of course a little bit like afraid of it, just to not get too attached. And then it just is such a natural progression, like especially once she figures out, because she's a little bit nervous when she thinks he's still married, because he's not really doing anything like, oh, I don't know, just like obviously he's flirting because he knows he's not married, and somehow like not even that much of a miscommunication, sort of, I guess, but like when she figures it out, like, you know, it just progresses even more. Then there's some stuff about, again, just like stuff that I don't know what to give away that's not a spoiler. But it's stuff with her parents that happens. Because he also has his own issues with his mom in the past. I forgot that. So they kind of connect on that, with just like parents they wish they would have had. And I think Mitchell was so like welcoming also as like the found family aspect, because he lacked some things too. So it's like, just so cute. They just take her under her wing. I feel like they could do that with everyone, and I love it, because also Ruby is Orson's mindset coach in the book, so you also kind of see how they did that with Ruby, and it's just so sweet. I love it.
I'm excited.
Sounds great.
I feel like it's not as much flashy, like why choose love triangle, age gap. I feel like that kind of stuff you can just like naturally hype up. So with them, I feel like it was like, I liked the tent. I did like the tent, like one sleeping bag. I was like, that's cute. I can kind of talk about that. And then I brought in the dirt bike for like some scenes. I didn't do that in the first, so I was like, that's exciting. But it just feels so much more like, I don't know, lovey-dovey and sweet than Ruby's story. But both good. Totally different.
I'm gonna seriously like end this and then go buy them. I mean, they were already in my cart, but okay, so let's touch a little bit more on the novella that's coming up. Yeah. Can you give us a sneak peek at all of what fans can expect?
So at the end of Perfectly Untamed, there's like you think actually everything kind of was going well. I didn't add the cliffhanger at first, but you kind of see like it ends with Ruby being happy about her situation, and then there's like a scene that's going to take place like 5 months later, where you can see that everything is actually not okay with her and her two guys, and then you kind of see a buildup of her drama behind the scenes in Perfectly Steady, because when she's like being friends and stuff with Odette and a couple of other people, you're realizing something's off with like Ruby and her little love triangle. And so the novella is set, what is that? Right at the end of, because Perfectly Steady, I forgot, yeah, it does end on a cliffhanger too, a little bit. Because I'm like, I gotta get people to keep reading through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, book 3. I always feel bad, so I'm like trying to like rush through it, because I'm like, I want, not rush in a bad way, but you know, I just want to get the novella done. Has to wonder. So the novella picks up pretty much right when Perfectly Steady ends, because Perfectly Untamed is the Supercross season, and then Perfectly Steady is Motocross, which is through the summer, so that would pick up at the end of the summer. So I feel like it's like, anyways, I don't know the time, I'm even confused about the time myself, but it's just really working through what she's gonna do about the two guys. And yeah, I don't want to give there's another, I did read the male POV for that one, so that's been fun. So it's gonna have Ruby and him, and then it will, I don't know, I know how it ends, but I don't want to say obviously. So I know,
yeah.
I don't know.
Don't tell me.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
So I'm like, that one, it's fun though, because it's going deeper also. Well, it's gonna be, I don't think it's would it be a spoiler to say who the POV is besides Ruby?
I don't
know.
think so.
I haven't even. Okay,
I don't know.
because I haven't even said it on TikTok. I'm like, I kind of wanted readers to pick it up and be surprised, but that one is going to be. I'm hoping it's a novella. I don't know what I'm at right now. Maybe 40. I don't know, but it's fun. I'm just happy for Ruby to have an ending because she's in her head a lot right now, and it's like she's stressed and yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you'll know. It would give so much away.
I'm so excited.
You mentioned that there will be more in the Motocrush world. Do you know how many books you're thinking will be in this series so far, or do you have a plan?
I know, because Harrison is Brody's brother, and I want to do like The Notebook is like my favorite movie, so I know that much. I was surprised. I didn't think his book was going to come at all, but I want to do because they're from Australia, so I want to do this like second chance romance, young love thing from Australia to Florida. And then I have an idea for book 5 in the series, which will be a whole new different team. And I think he has is it like 50 Shades a little bit? Like something like those kind of vibes. But not, I don't know. He has a dark, I don't know. I don't know what to say about his yet. But that will be some Britain, who he's kind of mentioned in the book. I'm dropping his name here and there because I don't know though. After him, I don't know what, because there's a cowboy one I want to do. He's kind of has those cowboy vibes. But now I'm do I want to keep writing in that right now and finish it out, or now I have another one I want to write set in Maine, summer romance. So I'm where am I going? I don't know. So to get at least 5.
Have 7 different computers.
And
there you go.
Here.
I know. That's what I need. I'm dang, they're all in my head too, but it's I feel like I can type it out pretty fast, but I don't want to rush any of them. I did rush the original version of Perfectly Untamed, and I'm just because you can do it that fast doesn't mean you should. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like a lot of authors, do they stop at 7? Am I making that up, or does that seem 5 or 7? In a series?
It's normally 5, but if you're looking at Zodiac Academies, that's a lot.
I know. I feel like it could go on forever, especially with new writers and new teams. So maybe till I get sick of it, but
as long as people are reading them, you might as well just keep going.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do some quick fire bookish questions.
Okay.
And just blurt them out as quick as you can.
Okay.
And say what comes to your mind first. Okay, you ready? One trope you'll never get tired of writing.
Second chance romance. Yeah, writing all of it. All of it.
Love it. Book boyfriend you're obsessed with, yours or someone else's?
Oh yeah, besides Brody. What did I just read? One Golden Summer from Carly Fortune. Yeah. I was giddy, kicking my feet up with Charlie. I was yeah, I love that.
Coffee shop writer or late night writer?
Oh, coffee shop. Yeah.
If your series had a theme song, what would it be?
Gosh, I listen to a lot of Russ with or Sabrina Carpenter. Okay, we'll do Nonsense by Sabrina Carpenter because I do feel like all the big things I put in, it's just so ridiculous. What had happened? I don't know, but it's just so flirty.
Love
that was funny because we were talking about, was it Sabrina Carpenter yesterday?
Yeah, we were talking about Sabrina Carpenter yesterday.
Her husband knew one of the songs, but I've never heard one of her songs.
Yeah, it's funny.
Never even listened to her until October when I started, because we were driving around Vermont, and I was okay, let me listen to someone besides Taylor Swift right now. And I think somehow Sabrina Carpenter, I was this is kind of cute. It's fun. So she's so much fun. I love her. No.
Funny.
Awesome.
Okay, Afton, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm so excited to dive into the Motocrush series, and I know a lot of your fan base on TikTok is too. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Can you share a little bit with us on where we can find you?
Yes, I think I'm just author Afton Seeser on TikTok, and there might be an underscore on Instagram. Although I'm way more I just talk too much to be on Instagram, I feel to make it cohesive. So I'm pretty much just on TikTok, but yeah.
I was gonna say that's how I discovered you a while ago, and I've been following you ever since. So, but we'll plug her socials below. Afton, thanks so much for hanging out with us again. We're so excited you were here with us, and so honored that you came on to our teeny tiny little podcast.
Oh, so.
Make sure you guys subscribe and like. Go follow Afton on TikTok. I love watching her TikToks every time they come around. So, yeah. Okay. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.